Canadian fishermen Logan Bennett, Ethan Carter, and Noah Sullivan were out at sea, about 6 kilometers off the coast of Labrador, when they spotted something unusual. Amid the icy waters of the North Atlantic, a massive iceberg towered over the waves, sculpted by time and tides. One of its edges had formed a peculiar overhang, shaped like a whale's tail. But what truly caught their attention wasn't the iceberg's odd formation, it was what lay on top of it. From a distance, it appeared to be just a small, dark spot against the iceberg's vast whiteness. But as they drew closer, they realized that something alive was stranded up there, curled up against the biting cold dot. At first, they assumed it must be a seal after all. They were surrounded by ocean and ice, the natural habitat of these marine animals. However, as they got even closer, they were stunned to discover that it wasn't a seal at all. It was a polar fox. The small Arctic fox was in serious trouble. Somehow, it had ended up stranded on this drifting chunk of ice, with no food, no shelter, and no way to escape. Its fur, usually thick and pristine white, was scruffy and dirty, and its eyes showed exhaustion and fear. Even worse, hungry seagulls had already begun circling above, waiting for the right moment to strike. The fishermen knew they had to act fast. They decided to rescue the fox before it was too late. But the little creature, frightened and wary, refused to get into the boat. They tried to lure it in, but its survival instincts made it resist. With no other choice, the men carefully broke off part of the ice and gently lifted the fox aboard, placing it in a secure crate. As soon as it was safe inside, the fox simply curled up, too exhausted to fight back. It was incredibly weak, but fortunately, it had no serious injuries. Most likely, it had climbed onto the ice in search of food, only to find itself trapped as the iceberg drifted further out to sea. At first, the fox refused to eat, sitting quietly inside the crate, still in shock from everything it had been through. But after several hours, it began to trust its rescuers and accepted some food, sausages and biscuits. Slowly, its strength started to return. When they finally reached the shore, the fishermen released the fox in a safe area, far from the water, where it had a good chance of survival. To their surprise, the little survivor didn't immediately disappear. Logan, one of the fishermen, later shared that the fox had found shelter in some old abandoned kennels near their cabin in Williams Bay. Every now and then, it was still seen wandering around, and the fishermen made sure to leave food for it whenever they could. This story reminds us of how unpredictable and harsh wildlife can be, but it also highlights the importance of human compassion. Thanks to the courage and kindness of these fishermen, a life was saved, and a small Arctic fox was given a second chance. If you enjoyed this heartwarming story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible wildlife adventures.